All right,
Microphone
guys. Thank you
muted.
guys for tuning in to the OLS Gold Series. Today we have iRage for us going against Kick but not beaten. Gonna be setting in here to get into Champion Select soon.
Alright, as we get into Champion Select here, Gallia was the first band on blue team. What do you feel about that ban?
Galio right now, honestly, I don't think is a strong band. I mean, he does have a high win rate right now, but I see a lot more of the 80 assassin meta coming in. Hopefully, we'll see some of that in this game or this best of three.
Yeah, especially with
I
that
expect
new item out, the
it.
Duskblade Drekthar.
Yeah, right. I'm definitely expecting to see a Zin or a Zed or a Pantheon, some sort of heavy AD burst champion to come out in this draft. Looks like on the red side here we have an Elise band coming in as well.
And a Rek'Sai ban on the blue team. Honestly, I think they actually do something that we don't, because they're banning things that are relatively not banned. While on the purple
Um,
team, they just banned Jax, which is actually a very common ban in solo queue and
it,
everything, and a
it
Vayne
looks
ban
like
as well.
It looks like right now they're just kind of getting rid of the top tier junglers that are pretty much played in any composition. Rek'Sai being, the tank, as to where Elise can be the engagement tool that teams can need. I do agree with the Jax ban. That can be a very powerful pick, top or jungle, and as well as the Fiora pick they have here coming in can definitely be a very viable split push threat later in the game.
And Andy picked up on the blue team. I mean, with a Zed, Zen, Mundo, Malphite, all these different champions that are normally banned, they're being let through this time. And we see them hovering over a Caitlyn now, looking.
Looks like
What
a
do you feel about
Caitlyn
Caitlyn in her
lock
current
in.
state? Yeah, what do you feel about the current
Caitlyn,
Caitlyn right now?
Caitlyn is in an okay place right now. Sieging is a very good way to win right now, especially seeing as how you'll see a lot of the professional teams, at least in my opinion, right now, they'll take top and bottom turrets, and then they'll pretty much have like an ARAM skirmish mid. And with Caitlyn's traps and the available headshots, defending the turret becomes very, very hard. It looks like on the red side we do have a Tom Kench being picked up and a hover on Udyr, which is very interesting. Udyr has gotten a lot of work with these new items, especially like the Rage Blade, Runic Echo combination that you can get going on. I mean, it does a lot of upfront damage.
I mean, and just the blubberiness and the tankiness of the Tom Kench, uh, just does not die with that gray health that he gets from his passive.
Yeah, it
Everything.
looks like they're setting up a strong front line on red side at least. Looks like they're trying to do the same on blue side as well to protect that Caitlyn. Looks like the Alistar has been locked in, and they're hovering a Zac right now, which would give them reliable initiation and a pretty solid front line as well.
Right now, it looks like blue team is looking for almost like a kite kind of team, because I mean, Caitlyn has decently long range, especially with her traps. If they step on it, she gets that new passive, and then Zac can kind of slow and disrupt the whole team fight. Alistar can
Yeah,
do his headbutt pulverize.
looks like they
Oh,
definitely do have some solid peel on the blue side right now. It looks like they are kind of going for a similar composition on the red side. It looks like, well, I don't know what these hovers. If they do go Lulu, it's going to be the empowered Tristana composition. Going to have the peel with Tom and Udyr trying to get that Tristana rolling into the late game.
and it is going to be that. So with Tristana having that long range from her passive every time she levels up, at level 18 she's going to be able to siege better than I think Caitlyn will be. But with that
It,
pit poke from the actual Lux coming in, Loosen Singularity and her E and her ultimate and all that stuff, all just going to be nice, like, I don't want to engage you directly kind of damage.
Yeah, it looks like Kick But Not Beaten is responding to the Caitlyn pick. The Caitlyn pick was made for the Siege. Like I was saying, they have the disengage with the Alistar and the Zac, and they were probably trying to force them not to even be able to defend the turrets with the Caitlyn traps. But the pickup on Tristana with the ability to take down the turrets as fast as she does, if iRage leaves their turrets open for even a matter of seconds, Tristana will take them down. So they're going to have to play their rotations very, very well in this matchup.
And we see a Pantheon being locked in.
Yeah, Pantheon is actually a really strong top right now. I didn't know if it was going to be picked up or not. From what I've seen, Pantheon is pretty much stomping solo queue nowadays.
Yeah, especially like that new item has just opened up a world of people playing all these champions that weren't necessarily picked up. I mean, getting that mini Zed ult along with the like the Duskblade Drakthar. I mean, that Nightfall passive. If it doesn't go off and you kill them too fast, it resets the cooldown, so you can then do it on somebody else.
It looks like they're going for a little bit of disengage here now with this Bard pickup. Maybe they're hovering it right now, so that would be a viable protection they would have against their backline here. They could just simply ult the damage dealers or ult their own turret or the enemy turret if they're trying to dive. But it looks like they're actually going for heavy engage with this Malphite pickup. They have the Malphite Lulu combo if they wish for the double knockup. And they also have quite a lot of peel for this Tristana and a lot of engagement tools now as well with that rounded out on that composition.
Alright. Looking over at the blue team, what do you feel about their whole like draft? Like compared to the purple team, because in my eyes, purple team looks like they have more of the reliable engage. They have all around just in my eyes a better comp. It looks like.
So it looks,
Get...
in my opinion, right now, it looks like blue is kind of going for a poke slash siege composition, as to where red team is looking more for of an engagement peel composition for the Tristana. It does have elements of the siege because of Tristana's E and her ability to take down turrets so fast. So it kind of looks like they're playing opposite sides of the spectrum. As to where red side's probably going to be looking for fights, as to where blue side is going to be looking for more poke.
I do agree with that.
We'll just have to see how it plays out here. If blue gets early kills, they should be able to snowball pretty effectively into the late game with the Caitlyn, and they have quite a few utilities here to peel for her. Same for the purple side, honestly, or red side here. You have the Tristana, so especially with the empowered Lulu, you have the E there and the speed up, get out of some sticky situations in the ultimate. So it's pretty much battle of the 80 carry, in my opinion, in this game.
It looks like that. So, how do you feel that Zac versus the Udyr is going to actually be?
Zac versus Udyr. Udyr right now with the new item, well, not with the new items, but with the new build path that people have been taking on him. You pretty much go Runic Echoes, and you can get Frostborn on him, and you get like stacking abilities on him. Whereas the Zac is probably going to be looking to gank early and make plays, which fits into the poke comp style. If they start snowballing early, they will get ahead, and it'll be really hard to catch up. But I think later in skirmishes, Udyr will probably do better at single target focus, which is what it looks like the red side has going for them right now.
I agree. So, how do you feel with the whole meta shaping up right now, with bringing that new item into the actual public realm, instead of just being in the PBE and it actually being out? How do you feel it's going to actually impact picks such as like Pantheon, Xin Shao, and all these like 80 bruiser slash assassins that can make use of that item? How do you feel like it's going to affect the game?
I tell you what, Rammus is going to start being picked up in every game shortly, in my opinion.
Malphite and Rammus definitely due to that
yeah.
item.
Other than that, though, like you're gonna start seeing people have to start straying away from comfort picks and start going into more counterplay. And actually either developing a poke or a siege comp, or a team fighting comp. You're not going to be able to sit around and scratch your head anymore. The meta is shifting to make games very fast paced. So you have to have very good communication in this meta. Especially rotational play. Rotational play is very key in this meta. Taking down turrets early, yourself snowballing, and get an early gold lead can, therefore, like get you into a first dragon fight or contesting dragon and into a good team fighting comp. Like if you made yourself, then objectives are very easy to control. You just got to watch the poke comps this meta, especially because if they get an early lead, it's going to be really hard to come back from it.
Alright, everybody. We'll talk to you later when we get into the rift. Alright, everybody, we're into the game! Welcome back. On the red side, we have iRage Blaze, and we have as AD carry, iRage Legacy playing Caitlyn. We have iRage Goose playing Lux in the mid lane. And then we have in the jungle, iRage Moore as Zac in the jungle. iRage Mystic as Alistar on support. And in the top lane, we have Bojuke in the top lane as Pantheon.
And on the red side, we have Native Bear playing Malphite in the top lane. We have Kevy J playing Lulu in the mid lane. We have Calipax playing Udyr in the jungle. We have Tom Kench playing support. It's Breakfast 13. And Tristana, which is Captain Flowers Blue, playing AD carry. Looks like we have a defensive start on the red side. They started bot side trying to get protection for Udyr for that early Gromp start here. But I believe Udyr actually starts blue this patch, if I'm not mistaken, in the jungle.
Especially with spamming his stances, going around doing Phoenix, and then into Bear, Turtle, Tiger, whatever. He uses a lot of mana, so being on the blue side actually helps him out. It's all going to be like normal starts, except we have Zac starting on the red buff. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, this is very interesting. We have Zac starting his red, which is probably going to give him earlier clear a lot faster, as to where this Udyr should have probably started his blue for the cooldown reduction, and getting the early Gromp might not help him as much. He's actually struggling here a little bit with this camp right now, taking a little bit more damage than he should have.
And we see like he's out of mana already on Udyr. See, spamming that Phoenix Dance and whatever else he's spamming has actually drained him a little bit of mana.
Yeah,
while Zac is just farming the jungle fine.
Yeah, he does finally pick up the second buff, but he's really low on mana. Zac will be working on his third buff here, as Udyr is struggling to keep up right now.
He chooses to stop at the wolves. Isn't normally you go red or Krugs red and then blue, or I guess everybody has their own little area.
Udyr starts are very strange. It looks like he's rotating topside to kind of help out this Malphite, who's having a really hard time against this Pantheon right now. With the new changes and new items to Pantheon, picking him up, especially into this Malphite, he's going to have a hard day. Pantheon can just spam his Q in that lane. I mean, Malphite can as well, but it seems like he's losing that trade right now. He is keeping up in CS, though. It looks like Udyr is going to try and set up for a gank on the top side. Alright, we have Malphite going in here, Pantheon tanking a couple of attacks, and here comes Udyr. Pantheon stuns and just walks out. No punishment.
And he takes a tower shot for that.
Yeah, tower shot on the way out. No good. First gank attempt not working there for red side.
I think that was more so just to alleviate the pressure a little bit, so that the Malphite has a little bit better chance to farm. Sense.
Yeah, you have this Zac now. He's picked up 3, 4 of his camps, and now he's working on this scuttle as Udyr is only making way to his 3rd camp with that failed gank attempt. It also looks like here that mid lane, the Lux is a couple of CS over this Lulu. We'll see how that develops. Lulu is a very, very good lane bully. We'll see if he starts getting a little bit aggressive here, or if he's just going to let this Lux bully him out of lane. There's a gank attempt top lane by this Zac, who forced the flash, and now Malphite's forced to go back as Pantheon has this wave pretty well contained and frozen on his side, so Malphite's going to lose out on a couple of waves here.
That's one thing about a jungler. A successful gank is not so much killing the person, it's getting something from them. Like getting a summoner is a successful gank in my eyes. I main mid and I main jungle. Those are my 2 roles. And whenever I blow a flash, expect me to see me there again in about a couple seconds after I go farm a champ or something.
Yeah, it looks like Udyr is making his way bot side. I'm not sure what he's doing now. He looks kind of lost here. He's taking his Gromp, but he's really low on mana here. He's probably going to have to go back after this camp, and he's not going to be very effective early in the game, which he should be.
Zac just has... Yeah, Zac just has more tools to... And since he doesn't rely on that mana, he just collects his bloblets and actually just keep on standing through the jungle.
Looks like there was a little bit of a fight for that Scuttle Crab on bot side for the early control of vision around the Dragon Pit. So it looks like Udyr is going to pick that up. And we have Malphite now, 15 CS behind, half the CS of Pantheon here with that wave freeze that went on earlier with that successful jungle gank by the Zac.
Yep.
See him stacking armor early.
Yeah. Malphite actually runs a little bit off of armor a little bit due to his his E, is it, when he slams down? He has like a yellow stat that
he's stacking heavy armor early. He went double cloth. I think it might have set him back a little bit. He's not going to be able to trade here shortly after Pantheon goes back for the first time. He's probably going to pick up an armor penetration item and make that armor completely useless.
Yeah, in my opinion, I probably would not have started Corruption Potion on the Malphite, because he doesn't do a lot of harassment early with auto attacks or anything like that. I would have probably started like a Goran Shield or a Cloth Armor and get the pots essential to that actual start.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the thought process is here right now. Just developing this early game. It looks like he's going to be countered pretty hard top lane though with this Pantheon pick. Most Pantheons are going to be building that early armor penetration and heavy scaling AD items to become a really late game team threat. I don't know if they're going to have an answer for it. Maybe Malphite can make up for it later with his ultimate in team fights. We'll have to watch out for that. It does look like Udyr here is setting up for an attempt mid. We'll see how that goes. Here he comes in now, and he gets stunned up by the Lux, but there was a slow by Lulu, and there's the follow-up flash, and a flash mid lane,
and the ultimate by Pantheon.
And it looks like
he's going to get
pick up a kill here. Or not.
Or not.
Oh, he got it.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
So that early gank put him at level 6 way before that Malphite, and he was able to roam with it, putting them ahead.
Yeah. iRage Frost is just making moves right now that they need to do in order to stay ahead. Because Pantheon will fall off later into the game unless he stays ahead, and keeps getting kills. Malphite, on the other hand, will actually just get tankier and tankier to be able to do that reliable initiation, and more so, the Caitlyn and the Pantheon won't do as much to him as they can do now.
Yeah, we have almost everybody on the side of iRage here having more CS than their laning opponents. It's starting to look very grim for Broken But Not Beaten here. They need to try and scale up into the late game and stay even in this farm at least, because if this Pocomp gets ahead, it's going to be a nightmare later.
Definitely. Especially Lux being quote-unquote god tier mid laner right now due to some statistics and everything.
Here you have this Udyr coming bottom for a gank, but decides to back off, relieve some pressure bot lane for the time being, but I don't know. Right now, you just have Zac farming up, scaling very well, and you have this Malphite taking a lot of damage top lane as well. It looks like he's He might have to go back here very shortly again.
Yeah, and the more he backs, the more he misses out on CS and actually getting that farm to actually stay relevant.
Yeah, the red side's gonna have to set up for an objective shortly. This isn't working out for them. Staying in lane right now is just, it's not paying off. They're gonna have to try and siege up or do something here very shortly with this Malphite hitting 6. Otherwise, they're just gonna fall flat.
We do see Udyr invading the bottom side jungle of Zag, but finding nothing to do anything. I
And
wonder
here
how
comes
this
this
gang is
Udyr
gonna
mid
go.
again, and he just gets stunned up and takes some free poke. This Lulu really isn't putting a lot of pressure on Lux. I mean, I know she can farm and poke from really far away, but if if this Lulu gets close enough, she can burst her down pretty easily. Maybe she should try and do that before calling Udyr into the middle again. I'm not sure if they have communication going on calling the gank middle, or if he's just kind of there at the time.
I mean, my opinion, Lulu, she's a utility mage right now, apparently, and I don't much. I'm more so aggressive in lane, so that's what I would feel like to play like an Ari, a Zed, somebody to not get poked down because of that Lux. But I can understand why they would pick the Lulu into this competition to help do the kind of empowered auto attacks from the Tristana to help poke down, to help do more.
I'm also starting to question this pick myself now. They could have did this just as easily with Orianna, in my opinion. And Pantheon coming again with another ultimate, picking up a second kill mid lane. Honestly, though, like I was saying, Orianna, I think, instead of this Lulu, would have been a better pickup. You could have comboed it better with the Malphite ultimate for way better engages. I'm not sure right now what that Lulu pickup was into the Lux.
Right now, it's just iRage Frost is making the moves that they have almost thought out in their heads to do, rather than trying to be reactive and try to do. It seems like they got everything that they wanted to get.
Right, and they're playing this comp very well. This is the kind of comp that needs to get ahead early and continue to snowball. And with this Pantheon making the ultimates and making the plays that they've been making, especially for this mid laner, even if she's not getting kills, you know, Lulu's missed out on 3 waves of CS here, and now she's down 2 deaths with this 2 assists on Lux, so she's just gonna start being a monster. And here comes Zac with the gank. Counter gank here by Udyr. Looks like a lot of summoners blown. Not sure how this engagement is going to go. You have Tristana being a non-factor in this fight until just now because she got chunked out early. It looks like everybody's just going to back off on the bot lane.
And Malphite roaming down for no avail right now. Letting that Pantheon get more and more ahead in CS.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they're a little too low. I was thinking maybe they could have tried to go here for a dragon. But it looks like they're just going to try and go in on this Lux, which just gets stopped by this this snare that she keeps landing over and over again. I haven't seen her miss one the entire game.
Now that Lux is just so good at... I was like, oh, you're running at me? If you don't have a blink or anything, I'm going to just snare you right now. You're not going to get to me.
Yeah,
That's what she's saying.
Some pretty clutch moves here early game. It looks like this Pantheon is doing some work against this Malphite again up top, chunking him down to about half.
Yeah, and it looks like he is going for that Duskblade of Drekthar, which, and an ultimate by the Malphite, and almost dying himself.
Yeah, he's gonna get the kill out of here. It was a fairly good trade. I mean, they both pulled the flashes there, the flash to get out. But I mean, fortunately for them, Udyr was there. Otherwise, it would have just been a death. But they actually do come out on top there with the assist gold, in my opinion. And Udyr gets some free push in the top wave to no answer unless Zac comes up here to stop him. So maybe that might relieve some pressure, but it's just making Pantheon more and more scary as time goes on. It looks like Malphite here has completed this Frozen Heart, which is going to be very important late game against this Caitlyn and this Pantheon now, though.
Yeah. But right now, it's just like, that was a well played by the Pantheon because he knew he was going to die. With that Udyr coming in with Barristan's full health, he's like, you know what? I'm going to take somebody down with me. And that is what he did. Even if it meant just diving underneath the turret, he was going to get that Malphite.
Yeah, he's definitely making advantages for himself and his team, especially here in the mid lane and the top lane, calling the jungler. And now look, he's coming bot lane for another gank, and he might actually get this one as well. Oh, it looks
And a
like there was a
headbutt
mistake
to
here
save.
right.
Yeah, headbutt to save the Tristana. I don't know
Mistake
how
here
many
on
times that's happened to
Alistar's
me.
part. That was a free
Oh.
kill there. Pantheon's making a lot happen for them early game. Congrats to him. He's making a lot of pressure, a lot of plays on every side of the map. He was mid, making plays top. Now he's bottom. He's just all over the place. It's going to be really hard to contain him.
I mean, that's what you gotta do with Pantheon. Once you get ahead, snowball your other lanes, because he has that ultimate that just drops you down, and you can actually almost queue in a stun as you land, and immediately stun somebody after you ult on them.
Yeah, he's using it pretty much like right now. They had an engagement going before he got there, and he used it completely as disengagement and almost turned that fight completely around. And it looks like Lulu almost getting soloed out here by Lux in the mid lane. Ultimate forced here. I think Summoner's spell as well. I think she might have had to pop her flash there.
Yeah.
No, she didn't pop it. Sorry, that's my fault.
It seems everybody's just slowing down, farming up again. All the action just happened in one brief spew of the moment. And now
Yeah,
it looks like everything's slowed down a little bit.
iRage here is going to be trying to pressure a lot of things and keep this early game snowballing. They're about 1,800 gold up. It's been about the same for the past 7 or 8 minutes. But they need to develop a lot more of a snowball here if they intend to be a fighting force later. If this Tristana gets going, I'm not sure that this Caitlyn's going to be able to handle it. But this Zac might be able to do something to dive the backline and get this Tristana out of position. We'll have to look for that later.
With iRage needs to keep this pressure up because they're keeping everybody on the enemy team at bay right now. Like, that Pantheon is doing so much work for the mid lane, for the bot lane. He's doing so much that they need to keep this up.
This armor stacking really isn't doing much for this Malphite as of the laning phase right now. We have Udyr coming in for a second gank. Looks like he's going to get stopped up here shortly by the Pantheon, but they're going to chase him down here. I'm not sure if they're going to get this kill. Looks like they are. And they give it over to the jungler. I think I might have given it over to Malphite to relieve some of the pressure that Pantheon's causing, but...
And you know how we talked about going that Runic Echo? He's going to Devour on Udyr.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing here. He's not going to be scaling that hard until late game. We have a teleport here by the Malphite, trying to set something up mid. We did just see the ultimate from Lux pop. She's way too healthy for this engagement right now. She's just going to turn and kill this Lulu, I think. No, she's gonna flash here. I think she could have gotten the kill on Lulu there, honestly, just by casting an E and getting an auto attack or even a stun on the follow-up. That was kind of sloppy on both of their parts, in my opinion. Could have been executed a lot better on both sides. Looks like red side is gonna try and attempt to take the Rift Herald at this point. I don't know if they're gonna give it to Udyr, if they're gonna give it to Malphite. It would relieve some pressure top for Malphite. I assume that's who they're gonna give it to. Ulti used by Tristana to stop the stun bot lane here by Pantheon, who's roaming bot lane again, and there's no answer top, nothing pushing, just that Rift Herald. And it does look like they give it to Udyr for a little bit of a jungle clear. I'm not sure I agree with that decision. They probably could have gotten a free top turret had they given that buff over to the Malphite here.
Yeah, I mean, that Pantheon ult just blew the Tristana's flash, so he can come back later. Or Zac can come back, and she won't be that safe. She'll only have a rocket jump and not have that flash.
Yeah, and all this pressure bot side also did lead to that dragon, and there's no response top side from Broken Boat not beaten here. They're trying to take this turret, but now Pantheon's just going to teleport top and stop the effort, so it's a free dragon over to iRage.
Yep. Again, everything has just slowed down for all. Almost, but they need to keep up that intensity on iRage Frost's side. They're doing a good job of it.
It looks like iRage is just simply outclassing them at this point. Every lane is up in CS by a margin. The only lane even keeping up is his top lane, who is a good 15 CS down right now and hasn't really made very many moves around the map and is still this far down in CS. So props to iRage for keeping all this pressure in all the other lanes and allowing this Pantheon to come in for these ultis and still be ahead in CS.
I mean, Pantheon's the only one that has died on iRage's side.
He's also the one making all the moves, and it looks like Udyr is going to get caught out here. Kill's gonna go over to Lux.
That burst from the Lux is just insane.
Yeah, she's also 32 CS ahead of this Lulu, and she's roaming right now too. So this is looking very grim for red side right now.
A misbinding. Just disengage right now by broken, but beaten, kicked but not beaten. So
You have this vision coming in on lower red side jungle from from Zach with that kill on the Udyr. He gets some free vision, so they're gonna know where he is. Unfortunately, he is going top side, so they're not gonna have too much information. They will know he's not gonna be in that bot side jungle though, so they should be looking to make another play bottom. Looks like Pantheon's moving that way at the current moment. No, they have no counter gank. It looks like he changed his
Pantheon
line.
is looking for that. It looks like he's looking for a play mid lane.
Yeah, he's.
Yep,
Yeah,
there he
it
is.
goes. There comes the ulti. There's the stun and the follow up.
No
Very
ultimate
well
needed. He's just all over the map right now.
Yeah, he's really making this game for him.
Bajuk has all but one kill on his team.
In this best of 3, we might see a little bit more of a of a banning phase in the next series. I think they're probably going to try and get rid of this Pantheon. It's been the defining factor of this game for the entire game. He's participated in 4 out of the 5 kills. The only kill he wasn't a part of was a mid lane solo kill, I believe, from the Lux onto the Lulu.
We do have a ZZ Rock portal built on that Udyr after his Devour.
Yeah, I'm not sure his build path here. He should have went Runic Echoes, especially if he was going to get that ZZ Rock portal.
I mean, he might be going and trying to do, what is it? He has a Mana Crystal. Is he going, or Sapphire Crystal? Is he going to be doing like a what is it?
He's going to be going Iceborne after this, I believe. It's the typical rush on the Udyr build. He's going to get some stacking here, but the Runic Echo stack would have been a lot better than this Devourer stack he's going to be getting.
He would have been able to make a lot more plays and not have to stay in his jungle farming, more so.
Yeah, he's been trying to come to this top side a lot to relieve pressure, but Pantheon's just on top of things. He's so aware of what's going on and when to push and when not to push this Malphite. And the rest of red side here is just getting outclassed, especially by this Pantheon at the moment.
Bot for kick but not beaten is actually winning in terms of tower pressure, and the Sun has actually gone ahead in CS ahead of that Caitlyn.
We get a flash forward here by Udyr, taking a couple tower shots. It looks like bot lane might actually get taken here if they can continue up this siege on the red side. So putting Udyr top here is a smart move, trying to grab the pressure, but it does look like Zach's going to come from behind and try and get a gank on. Or maybe he's just counter jungling for now, not sure what's going on here. There is a pink ward that spots that blue ward. They do know he's there.
They are collapsing on him.
He's just going to get out of this. And
shots away.
Yeah, just hops right away here. Lulu's going to go down for that as well. And Pantheon might actually get a kill out of this as well.
He does not. He
Malphite
gets killed.
Gets out. Yep, Malphite gets out with a small tad bit of HP. They are going to get this top tower for it. They're going to have to try and defend the siege bottom. It looks like there's the jungler coming bottom with this Caitlyn long range poke and siege on this tower. So they are trying to make an answer for that top side.
First tower is taken by red team.
Yeah, it's red team's just going to have to continue to siege up and keep this Pantheon under wraps. It looks like there is a dive attempt coming in. No follow-up from the rest of the team on iRage's side, but they are getting a lot of damage down on this tower, and Tristana's forced to get out of here for now.
And we see a Rylai's Crystal Scepter picked up before the finish of the item for Zach.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to go in and make plays, be a little bit more tanky, be a little bit more of a factor in these fights, and try and keep everybody where he wants them, slowed and in the back, just diving and chipping away at them as the rest of his team comes in and engages. Especially with this Pantheon, like I've been saying, I've been talking non-stop about this Pantheon, but honestly, this is a really good pickup for this composition right now. They're playing it to a T. Got that Zizirath portal top, which is going to make it a little bit harder for Pantheon until he gets up there to clear it. So that Zizirath portal pickup has relieved a little bit of the top side pressure, but I don't think it's going to do a whole bunch here. It looks like there's a fight developing around this Dragon Pit, and red side's going to have to back off, especially with these Caitlyn traps and the choke points here.
We do have a little mini team fight. Zach was queuing up for a slingshot in, but chooses not to go in.
Got the spooky ghost up here. Looks like they are going to start the dragon, and with that choke point there, kind of, they have an area to get in now. All of these
Malphite is teleporting in.
Out. This is really bad for iRage. They need to get out of here.
So much damage in this team fight.
This Pantheon diving the backline, almost killing the Lulu, but red side here takes the loss of the dragon and gets a double kill out of it. Now they're going to have all this pressure they can put on mid lane or bot side, wherever they want to go with this, and there's going to be no response from blue side here. Everybody's too low to do anything. You got Caitlyn at like a couple hundred HP here, and looks like they're going to do a split push, take mid and bottom possibly out of this.
Get 3 kills and get 2 towers. That's a worthly trade for one dragon.
And this is definitely what red side needs to continue to do in this game, is just pressure objectives and try and force these team fights. When they're getting soloed out and letting this Pantheon roam and just go where he wants and kill these carries, it's not going to be much that happens. Red side just needs to play around these objectives and have stronger rotational game if they have any chance of winning in this game right now. Although they did come ahead with a gold lead after that fight. And it looks like they extended it here with those 2 tower pickups.
That was just a well-executed teleport play by the Malphite.
It was a very good call on his part.
Like I said, that Malphite is going to just get tankier and tankier as time goes on. So
like
he,
Lulu
later on in the game...
Or sorry, Udyr gets caught here in the back line.
I mean, that Malphite pick is probably going to be what defines how these team fights actually go. Because they have the tankiness from the Tahm Kench. They have Malphite, who is going to just getting stronger and stronger in terms of armor. Because right now, that Pantheon is most of the damage, most of the physical damage right now.
They're going to have to be very careful in these engagements. If Malphite does go too hard and tries to engage on this team, Pantheon can just simply ulti to the backline and just kill this Tristana with all this damage output that he has right now.
That's tower taken by iRage Frost.
Looks like there's going to try to be an answer mid lane. They might actually get this. The recall's coming out a little bit late here.
They have a Tristana.
With this Tristana push, I think this tower is definitely going to go down. That's a terrible call there. No, here comes the Pantheon ulti.
Just keep them off the turret.
Yeah, just keep them off the turret for now. They almost traded an outer for an inner mid. That would have given red side so much map control at that point. I'm not sure about these decisions that blue side's making at the current moment. All that snowballing and early lead they had really isn't turning into much now. They're losing a lot of map pressure. This Pantheon's roaming a little bit too much at this point. Top side being taken. He is forced to play a little bit closer to the chest now here, and Malphite has the ability to roam with his turret still up. Hopefully they can get some more team fights and try and turn this game into a more winnable thing here for the red side.
It's just gotten to the point where the Malphite can actually last through the Pantheon and actually do some actual team fighting. Right now,
yeah, I think Tristana needs to pick up an early QSS here if they have a chance of surviving the Pantheon damage. Especially if he's diving this backline. But honestly, he's got a lot of appeal with this. This Tahm Kench can just pick him up and take him to safety, and also this Malphite can just counter engage. So I don't know if this Pantheon's going to be so much of a factor here in a little while once things start to get rolling. They just need to, red side needs to continue the siege and see how things go.
Like I said, Pantheon will fall off later into the game. They needed to win early. They needed to win, I'd say probably a lot earlier than what they are now. Yeah, like they needed to win within the first 25 to 30 minutes is what they needed to do before that Malphite got too tanky.
Tristana here is outscaling this Caitlyn a little bit as far as farm. Items are pretty much here. She has a bilge water, but the Caitlyn does have the tier 2 boots finish here, so I'm sure we're not going to see a 1v1 or anything, but it looks like the Tristana has a little bit more of a dueling potential here than the Caitlyn right now, especially with the sustain from the Bilgewater.
I do agree. Now that Malphite can just go in, it's like, oh hey bro, I'm gonna do some more damage to you now.
It's like a siege attempt here by blue side. They're going to be chased down by red side here. Not sure if they're going to continue this siege. But it looks like blue side's just stalling for this Pantheon, trying to get the top tower. It looks like Malphite's trying to roam down to reinitiate this fight, but blue side's just too far away at this point. That call should have been made a little while earlier. They probably could have given up the top tower on red side for a full clear team fight and probably taken the mid turret out of it, in my opinion.
I do agree with that. So, with the Lux having that long range poke, not gonna do much to the Malphite being so tanky and the Tahm Kench being so tanky. Like, the two carries on the team are Tristana and the Lulu. But
yeah,
it's more so
way too much wave clear at this point. Here comes the Pantheon ult that I was talking about, trying to get to that backline, and it looks like they are going to catch this Lulu at the very least.
I re-engaged by the Malphite onto the two carries of iRage Frost.
You have this Pantheon going down on this side, and the Malphite's still alive. Tank's still up for red side. It looks like this fight is going to be going in favor of red side. It might turn into a mid-tier inner turret, and they might actually be able to siege for the next tier as well.
Malphite's a little low. They can do that with the Lulu, the Kench, and Tristana, and Udyr.
You have to be weary here. I think the Lux ulti is on a very short cooldown now. It should be up in about 30 seconds, so they might have to back off. There's too much wave clear. They won't be able to siege at this current moment. Looks like they are trying to set up for this dragon though, which did just go live.
I think they're probably going to get this one.
Yeah,
unless Lux can steal it.
Jungler.
Yeah. I think the team comp from Kicked But Not Beaten is now coming into play now that they're an actual unit, that they're actually there together and fighting. Unlike with iRage Frost, they wanted to win early and not necessarily team fight in a sense because they have so much disruption with the Zac and the Alistar pickup. It's just
iRage is still definitely in this game. They just need to not let red side collapse on them and just kind of try and poke them down while they can. They do have these long-range champions, Lux and Caitlyn. If they can get them low enough before the engage and follow up with a Zac engagement, the fight can sway the opposite direction. So they're going to have to be really careful on both sides. One team fight can probably like seal out at least an inhibitor at this point in the game. Malphite taking
so
a lot
much
of
being
damage,
put onto the
down here.
Malphite. He's just walking off like, nah, bro, I'm fine.
He might lose his top side turret for that. Not much done. Red side. No response here. Looks like they are going to try and answer that with the Tristana and Udyr, but that tower... He might trade that tower for his life. Tower is not even going
Looks
down
like
here. I think Tristana's going to pick up a free easy kill there on top side. This Udyr is putting the ZZ Wrath portal in the most interesting places, keeping the wave pushing bottom, causing pressure on the bot side, making the Caitlyn have to stay down there while Tristana's free farming top and they're trying to get a siege set up. It looks like here mid lane of top side pushing, trying to get some coverage over here for the Baron. Maybe they're going to try and set up for a team fight and at least bait it out and see what they can do there. iRage needs to be really careful and just try and poke down the team, but it looks like two members are caught out here of Kicked But Not Beaten. It looks like Tahm Kench might go down here. Whimsy used, Greyhound's still available. He's not going to die. He's way too tanky at this point.
yeah. And a top tower being taken down by Kicked But Not Beaten.
Simultaneous top side and bot side inner towers taken out here. Just by having this Tahm here soaking up damage, they're not even going to get this mid turret. They're just going to recall here and be able to defend at least the inhibitor, but iRage definitely winning this here. It does look like they are going to get the top side turret here. Doing whatever they can to defend this middle turret, inhibitor turret. Defense is successful, so it looks like kicked but not beaten. Definitely on the upper hand of that. Even though they lost 2 members, they definitely got an easier way into the base now, and they can. Looks like Malphite here is gonna die.
What are you doing, Malphite?
And Udyr as well. Not sure what they're thinking here. Oh well, they did get a kill out of it.
It was a 1-for-1 trade in that fight. But all
yeah,
in all,
I think this Tristana is gonna die. Pay for her sins right there, though.
But at the end of the day, it's Kick But Not Beaten has taken the gold lead by about 2K.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot easier of access into the base here of iRage at this moment. Pantheon being a non-factor late game is really hurting them. They put a lot of eggs in one basket this game, so maybe they'll sway away from that pick and try and go to a more team-fight-oriented champion topside, knowing that that Kick But Not Beaten is definitely going that path, at least for this game. Maybe try and have a little bit mechanical, more of a mechanical, better scaling team fighting team. Looks like that Kick But Not Beaten is definitely comfortable with this type of composition.
They got what they wanted. They wanted the Udyr, they wanted the Kench, they wanted those picks, and they got them.
It's Battle of the Ages here. Team fighting skirmishing comp against a poke siege comp, and the poke comp just not doing enough damage, not poking enough for this tanky front line of red side here.
And then ultimate by Pantheon, where's it going? Going behind,
get behind the team. Looks like Lulu probably is gonna die here. I'm not sure they can follow up with anything else though. Malphite should probably recall here. The split push isn't going to be very effective. There's nothing to take. They just need to protect this inhibitor turret now.
By iRage Frost is now going to be coming into question. They take the tower.
Just the relentlessness here by iRage, just forcing them. As Pantheon doing a lot of damage here to the Tristana. They actually pick up the kill. Looks like they are going to get a free inhib out of that. They might actually be able to back and set up for this turn as well. Tristana won't be up for 47 seconds, and you have Tahm Kench not being up for 35 seconds. It looks like they are pinging the Baron right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to just go, not even bother backing, and they just go get it.
I'm not sure about that decision right now. They have this Malphite that can just engage, and they are kind of low, so if they do take a lot of damage from this Baron, it could even be stolen by this Udyr here. The stun onto the jungler here will make Smite not available, and Udyr could just flash over the wall and smite it. Looks like they're just going to give it up. They tried to get in, but Udyr just could not get close enough.
And we have a huge wave pushing in the bottom side for Kick But Not Beaten. And it's doing some nice damage to that turret.
Yeah, it looks like top side is pushing just as hard, so they need to really clear these waves before the siege potential can come out with this Baron buff right now. It's unfortunate that they had to take it when the waves were pushing so hard against them. It does look like red side Kick But Not Beaten, definitely getting not a favorable trade, but at least picking up the dragon. I believe that's their third dragon of the game.
It is their second dragon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. iRage definitely picked up one earlier. They got the. It looks like Pantheon is coming in here.
So much damage down to that Tahm Kench.
Yeah, Pantheon just not caring about anything right now. Just trying to get to that Tristana, trying to make these plays happen.
Looks like they're going to be sieging up that bottom side.
Yeah, they're probably just going to use the Alistar ulti here to siege up and take this turret. So far they have gotten one turret with this Baron buff. They don't have the Alistar ulti for the next turret though. I'm not sure that it was particularly favorable to use the Alistar ulti there. They probably could have secured that without the Alistar ultimate, in my opinion. They probably could have been sieging for that bottom side inhibitor turret now as well, but it looks like they're trying to make their way up top and just take that other outer turret, just trying to even up the gold here. Oh, well, they actually passed them in gold in gold now after the Baron power play that we had. Looks like they're just trying to even the turrets here and prevent Kicked But Not Beaten from even thinking about going to that bot side inhibitor anytime soon, or top side inhibitor anytime soon.
Right now, both team comps are doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. Trying to get all the outer turrets out from underneath the Kicked But Not Beaten. Just sieging up, wave clearing.
Zach taking a lot of damage, might not be able to engage on this fight, but here comes Pantheon in the back, probably going right for this Tristana. Stuns him mid-jump. This might be the fight that iRage needs. Looks like they overestimated their team fight there and kind of got picked off for it. Zach dying, Pantheon not going to be able to have this fight by himself, just going to go down as well, and this Baron buff doing nothing for them. Malphite just in the back, negating all the damage from Lux, making her a non-factor in the fight, and it looks like they're just going to get chased down. This might actually be game here.
I don't think it's going to be game quite yet, but we do have minions taking out the turrets in the Not Beaten space. Wasting time right now and having them not go back. Malphite's finally thinking
is gonna go back and try and stop this push. I think they can definitely get top side inhibitor, which really doesn't help them. Bottom side inhibitor would have been a lot more favorable, seeing as how this game has been dragging out. If they got that bot side inhibitor, they probably could have taken the Baron for free here in a couple of moments. But take what's available to you, you know? Game's been very back and forth, methodically played by both compositions, getting a lot of poke out here by blue side and sieging up, getting a lot of objectives here, and then you have this red side team who's just brute forcing their way into these fights and making things happen. I think blue side's being a little too overzealous and trying to take more than what's given to them and just paying for it in the long run.
Yep. Right now, it's just back and forth. Only a 600, whatever. So close in gold right now. So close in kills. So close in towers. And dragons are exactly the same. This is a good game to watch.
Yeah, everything's going to be decided here by one final team comp. Got 50-second plus death timers now. Inhibs down on both sides, although you do have the inhib just did respawn for red side, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for blue side to to end the game out here. But they do only have one turret standing for Kicked But Not Beaten. So yeah, it has its ups and its downs for both teams right now. It's very, very close though.
Definitely. Well, that ZZ Rock Portal is actually doing a decent amount of damage with spawning those ZZ Rock, those Zerglings.
Yeah, he's had that bot side under control like half this game now, just with that portal just pushing and taking out the minions.
It's going to be one explosive fight that's going to end the game for either team. Right now, nobody can afford to get caught out because that could spell the end of the game.
Malphite needs to save his ultimate here and wait for the engagement from blue side. They're getting a little bit desperate. I think they're going to try and come in with another Pantheon ulti as they tried a couple of times here before. They need to save that Malphite ultimate, kill the Pantheon off, and then just re-engage with that Malphite ulti and close the game out. On the side of iRage, they just need to be patient and try and poke this team out, and just after the team is getting low and they can't fight anymore, just need to go in and end this game. That's how I see this game going. One of those two things need to happen, and that's going to be the deciding factor of this game, which one can pull it off better.
Right now, the Pantheon's staying in the base.
Not very much poke at all coming from iRage here at all. Too tanky. Got two Abyssal Scepters here done on the side of Kicked But Not Beaten, making Lux a complete non-factor right now. Tom Kench taking a lot of free damage here. Udyr as well. This is exactly what iRage needed. They needed this engagement with the poke coming up. It looks like they're actually going to be able to win this fight and turn this game around right here. Here comes
Malphite
the
ult.
re-engage. It looks like it's a little bit too late here though. Tristana not really being able to do much to anybody, and Pantheon goes in. He hits that Guardian's Angel. It looks like it went the side of Kick but not beaten. They are gonna
And they ended off of this. They have minions pouring in on both sides.
You have this Tristana pushing the bot side as they're taking the dragon, getting the waves prepared. I don't think they're going to be able to end it here. They're just going to back and spend the gold that they got, unfortunately.
A 45-second death timer on the Pantheon right now. They can definitely do some damage to the base.
They might be able to get bot side inhib, but I don't see this game closing out off of that fight.
Well, these are rots. They'll do some work.
Yeah, most definitely. I see this inhib going down, and that's pretty much it. You got spawns up in 10 seconds and 7 seconds on Lux, and it looks like they are chasing down the carries here. Udyr does manage to get to the Caitlyn, but is getting punished and is going to die for it. They are going to take this inhib and get out of here. They don't even get the inhib, and Tristana goes down from the Lux ultimate here.
So much damage coming from that Lux. I mean, it's taking a tower.
All of blue side's up now. Jungler is down on Kick but not beaten. Now is the perfect time for them to go and take this Baron buff and try and close the game out. This is their only chance here to get a last siege attempt going on, unless they can pull off a perfect poke fight and leading it into a hard engage and just closing the fight. I don't see a better opportunity than what they have right now to take this Baron and try and seal up the game.
And they're starting it right off the bat. Malphite does have his ultimate though. Jungler is down for the red team though.
Udyr is still down for 17 seconds here. If they can stall it off until Udyr gets here, they might have a fighting chance, but it looks
like... They need Caitlyn to get onto the... They need to Caitlyn on there.
Pantheon ult from behind with the ultimate. Looks like it was just a bait. They don't even want the Baron. They're just going to make everybody pay with their lives here. Now they're going to turn on the Baron. Try and close this out.
Or are they going to go for the game?
Yeah. Tom Kench is down. That's a big factor here. He's been tanking up a lot of damage. Not really being able to do much, especially with the Z0 portal bot side, just continuously pushing this bot side.
Just after all of that, blue team is only... They're not even up anymore. They're just even right now.
Yeah, it looks like we're starting to reach max item builds here on both sides as well. Looks like the only people without max items right now are Lulu here we have without max items, and Malphite here without max items.
So much damage done to that Zac, being so tanky.
It looks like he is gonna live with the bloblets though. There's the one bloblet in the back. I don't think they're gonna be able to get. Malphite might pay for his life trying to be greedy here as well.
That's actually a very big factor in this.
Udyr is split pushing to try and take this inhib. I think he's gonna get it. No, he's gonna back off. He's gonna get away as well, so. Yeah, just smiting the Zac and walking out. They are trying to get a 3-1 going here. Pantheon coming in. Tristana just jumping out. Not much done with that Malphite dead. Udyr just relentlessly trying to take this inhibitor while the rest of his team is just keeping blue side at bay and making them respond. He might actually be able to pick this up. I don't think that this Pantheon is going to be able to stop him. Of course, Pantheon has a lot of damage here, but that inhibitor is down to half health already.
And it's slowly going to actually heal up.
It does look like he's grabbing a lot of attention here, and now they're just rotating bot side. They're going to try and split them even farther. They're going to do bot side rotations and top side rotations. They are going to get the spot side inhibitor. There's going to be little... I think Lulu is going to die here.
He is.
Tristana might go down as well, but this Udyr just still pushing topside. Nothing that this Pantheon can do, especially after that early game lead. You would think he'd be able to do something. He might actually just die here. He's going to flash out. This inhib is going to be taken. So Red did get a small victory from losing that Lulu there, keeping the other team occupied long enough to take that. Udyr being a little greedy, trying to stay for that CS. iRage really not capitalizing on Lulu and Malphite being dead at the same time, though, just letting that inhibitor go for free. Flash in by Udyr, he's probably gonna die here. Pantheon coming in on the side, Udyr goes down to Caitlyn ulti. Looks like Tahm Kench is gonna get caught up here, is gonna die. Zach coming in from the side flank. This might be the fight that blue side was looking for. This might be game. They don't have a Tahm Kench, and they don't have their Udyr. Lulu's down for another 3 seconds. Lulu's finally back up. I don't think they're going to be able to stop the siege, though.
They don't. They only have one tank up, with the two switchies being up as well.
And you have Ali's flash up right now for an engage. You can just flash ult or flash pulverize headbutt this Tristana, so it's not really much defending they can do. They might just turn to Baron. I don't know about that call. They probably could have taken that other turret here for the exposed Nexus. Red side gonna answer here with the dragon.
They're gonna go set up and try to answer this Baron.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that call either. I don't think they have a chance here. They should have just stuck with the call and taken that dragon and tried to get to that 5th buff.
And everybody on iRage Frost has actually gotten that Baron buff.
Pantheon just keeping these waves at bay. Kick but not beaten, finally going for this dragon buff. Malphite may die here. And he's just gonna walk out. A lot of pressure topside with this inhibitor down. If Udyr could sneak in the ZZ Raw topside, it would make a lot more problems. Pantheon would literally have to live topside. Not that he already isn't, but it would just completely take him out of this game right now.
That ZZ Rock Portal's actually been doing a lot of work throughout this whole time. They actually gained 2,000 gold from that ZZ Rock doing so much stuff for him.
Honestly, this blue side just needs to keep these waves shoved out, not overextend, wait for their inhibitor to respawn, and then try and take this final outer turret. Looks like Udyr getting caught here. Don't know what he was thinking. There's no way. He saw the entire enemy team there. He's definitely going to pay for his life. Udyr's been a little lost this entire game, from the start of the game to the very end, in my opinion, making some very interesting calls for himself. Malphite not being able to stop this siege, having to go the long way. I don't think Tristana and Lulu are going to be able to respond, and that tower's going to get burned so quickly.
That Baron buff up, minions just doing work, everything.
This Malphite coming in from the back, getting on this Lux, taking her out of the fight. Not really any damage onto this Caitlyn here, and they do end up getting this inhibitor. Looks like this is going to be game here.
Yep, it looks like it's going to be game. We have a triple kill for the Caitlyn.
Yeah, keeping that Caitlyn healthy the entire fight, just soaking up damage for the rest of the team.
Quadra kill, maybe? Unofficial Quadra. And game 1 going over to iRage Frost. Good game, gentlemen.
All right, so looking here at the damage graphs here, we have Caitlyn leading the damage graphs, damage up to champions 55,000. In comparison with this Tristana 46,000. It's a 9,000 damage difference. It didn't really peak up until the last couple of fights there, so they were even most of the game. Looks like other than that, Lulu was a non-factor. She had 21,000 damage to the 44,000 damage of Lux here. With all of that magic resistance that Kicked But Not Beaten had built, she still output all that damage, and Lulu really didn't even get to help Tristana that much. You can tell by the damage graph here, Tristana not even having as much damage as the Caitlyn, and Caitlyn not having any support, like as far as empowering them. Um,
In my
as far
opinion,
as gold here, you had Udyr leading gold because of that ZZ Raw fort was very interesting. He had 23,000 gold, 1,000 of it at the end of the game um, earned. And even without the ZZ Raw fort, it would have put him at 21,000 gold. And the only other person in the game that was even close was Caitlyn on the enemy team and Lux on the enemy team with 23,000. The ZZ Roth portal did do a lot of work. I commend him for the placement of that ZZ Roth portal, causing a lot of problems early. I just think his stances and where he chose to be on the map cost them that game. Honestly, his decisions just getting caught out over and over again towards the end of the game just pretty much lost them that game.
he spent so much time just early trying to find those different camps in the actual enemy side jungle, but really find much early. But later on, he just stayed in the jungle and ended up getting caught out.
Yeah, his lanes
I,
really
I
did suffer. His lanes really did suffer early too. He did try and gank top a lot to relieve that pressure from that Pantheon who was making a lot of plays early game, but it really didn't do much. All the other lanes were 30, 40, 50 CS up during the laning phase, which is where iRage really wanted to be. They had that poke comp going. They wanted that early snowball. As much as things did even out towards the middle and the end game, as long as they weren't down, it looked like they were going to be able to come back at any given point. Just poking the enemy team down, and then the hard engage from Zach at the end, just able to pick apart this team comp that Kick But Not Beaten had put together, just not being able to protect the Tristana and all this backline dive that they had, just not really working for Kick But Not Beaten here, and definitely working in the favor of iRage for us.
Yeah, that's actually just was so much more reliable early engage due to the whole like slingshot in. It's like, okay, I'm gonna just now knock you up and pile on all their damage.
Yeah, and if you look at the kill spread here, you have 13 kills on Caitlyn and 7 kills on Lux, where on red side you had 4 kills on Tristana and you had 9 kills on Udyr. Udyr was not that much of a factor in the game. He just, with the kills that he had, getting caught out and making careless mistakes the way that he was making them, it just, he didn't need the kills. They needed to go on somebody else. Whether it had been Malphite or whether it had been Tristana or even Lulu, just trying to get one of them in the game a little bit stronger. Being a little bit greedy, taking the kills that he took, especially that top lane kill early that should have went to Malphite, maybe would have changed the sway of the game a little bit earlier, and they could have put a stop to the snowballing that blue side had.
All right, well, we're gonna get these teams ready for game 2. Right now is Rage Frost got 1 point up on the Kick But Not Beaten.
Yeah, best
Guys,
of
everybody
three.
in the second game.
It's the same each and every night. Glare at my screen with 2 big bloodshot eyes. I'm stuck self-torturing. My meds are failing me. Internal clock and smithereens. Can't fix this. I'm hopeless. My eyes are stapled open wide as I lay down on my side. I am bouncing off these walls.
User joined your channel.
Alright, everybody, we're back in here for game 2.
Volterra, what are your thoughts on this bot lane matchup right now? Got this
On this what?
This bot lane matchup. You got this mid to late game skilling champion going against this really early game focused composition bot lane by iRage here. How do you think this is going to turn out?
I think if the actual Ezreal can dodge the shots from the Lucian, I think that's going to play a big part into it, because that actually is a lot of the damage early on, and then as he gets more items, then auto attack still more damage. But early on, if you dodge out of those Qs from Lucian, and Ezreal can just keep farming with his or harassing with his Q as well, I think he can take it. But more so, I think Lucian might have it in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how this lane goes as well. You have this Trundle here, who really isn't going to be that much of a factor against this Braum. This Braum can pretty much just block Ezreal's skill shots here and prevent Lucian from taking damage, also offering him the ability to stun up whoever he so chooses, as long as they get caught up by an auto attack or by the Q of the Braum here. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Although I do give the edge to Ezreal after he gets his Iceborne here into the late game, or the middle game, shall we say.
Yep. Early game, probably Lucian. Later game, I think Ezreal, once he gets his Iceborne, once he gets his Baramana and Lucidity boots, should be fine in kiting.
How about this mid lane matchup? What do you think is going to happen here? This Brand versus this Victor. Got the extreme wave clear on the side of this Victor here, but the extreme harass on the side of Brand.
Me being a mid lane player, I hate playing against both of them, but it all depends on who can land their abilities more. If Victor can land his Death Ray more, it'll go to Victor. If Brand can get his EQ or WQ or something Q up, then I think the Brand can actually just do a lot more.
So the Victor is going to have a little bit more of a like a poking kind of whittle you down kind of factor, as to where this Brand will have it. If I land an ability, I'm going to go all in and you're going to die factor.
Well, both of them have that all-in factor at level 6. Victor has his Q, which actually gives him a shield and gives him an empowered auto attack once he actually he gets the speed up when he evolves it.
Correct.
In a sense. But it's like both of them have the ability to go all in level 6, because Victor has his slow / stun, he has his Death Ray, he has his Q, which gives him a shield. Also, if he upgrades his Hex Core, then that gives him a speed up to actually be able to maybe dodge the Brand's Q. But on the other side, Brand, if he has lands any of the spills, I don't think the Victor might have time to react until all that damage is dumped onto him. And especially if he gets a gank early, I think he'll be a little harder to deal with.
I think this Gragas as jungler might be a little bit of a factor here too. Mundo maybe not going to be the best early for this Brand, as to where this Gragas might be able to get a flash E initiate on with a follow-up from the Victor stun and maybe cause some issues for this Brandon lane. We'll see if it's a solo kill that happens mid, or if it's jungler intervention here. It does look like Gragas is topside right now. This Fiora is awfully pushed up, not aware that this is coming in. Does get hit, gets hit by the E. Looks like also going to get hit, take a couple of auto attacks here, relieve some of the pressure from the gank, and Gragas is just going to back off here.
And while that, he didn't really get much from the Fiora.
Yeah,
no flash or anything.
Burn, just the repost on the Q damage. She did have to back, so she is going to miss out, probably at least on this cannon minion. If he does push this wave into the turret, she's not going to be able to respond and possibly miss an entire wave of CS here, but not too much to worry about. She kept up pretty well in farm early game so far.
Now, in the top lane, who do you who has it? Because you quizzed me, now it's my turn to quiz you. Who do you think's going to take it in the top lane?
Well, I'm not knowledgeable enough to know. Repost can stop a barrel or no?
I think it can stop any damage coming in.
Right. I thought I was pretty accurate with that. We'll see how the
We do have a
repost is
pause,
used.
so
We do have a pause here. I will answer that question in the meantime, though. So as far as Gangplank and Fiora, Fiora has like retarded out scaling abilities. It does look like KevJ is having some troubles, maybe ping issues or something here. But I think in a 1v1 Fiora takes it. Sheer fact of the repo stopping the damage from the barrels altogether, and just the all-in ability with her ulti and the vital stacks should be able to take out the Gangplank. But that doesn't mean that Gangplank's going to be a non-factor in the game. He has that ulti that he can throw pretty much anywhere on the map. In the 1v1, I do give it to the Fiora, unless there's a lot of time spent here by Gragas top lane. We'll just have to see how that goes out. You do see this Fiora equaling up the CS, 2 CS above the Gangplank right now, so no, really, that intervention really didn't do much, and she's just going to be a monster into this late game scaling.
I do agree. I mean, with Fiora being who she is and having her kit and everything, she'll actually be a little bit more of a, I guess, split push monster later on.
Yeah, Gangplank does have that split push pressure as well. If they meet up in the 1v1, I kind of, depending on the build path we see coming out, I'm gonna want to sway towards the Fiora pick here. But that's not to say that later in the game, Fiora won't have the ability to do as much work in a team setting as this Gangplank. If he gets one barrel on the back line, he can completely take somebody out of a fight. So where Fiora has to get up close and personal and be involved in the entire fight. So if she's out of place when a team fight starts, she can just be a non-factor in a fight altogether. It's a lot about how each individual is going to play these champions that they've picked.
And in the jungle, since we talk about every other place, I think the jungle.
I like this.
I give it to the Gragas a little bit.
Right, I like the disengage that they have for Gragas, keeping this Ezreal a little bit safe into the late game. Also maybe causing some disruptions and trying maybe even to get Fiora out of these fights using the ulti on Fiora if they see her ripostas down and just taking her out, trying to get the carries down before she can even get back into the fights. Although Mundo does have this really heavy chase potential and a split push potential later in the game, we'll just have to see how that plays out as well. I do, although, think you are correct. Double stun here mid lane. Looks like Gragas is going to come in, use his flash, force the flash at a Brand. It looks like Fiora and Mundo roaming mid though. Stun dodge there, very nice stun. Mundo very low, might go down from the ulti here.
And an ultimate by Victor. So, as far as how game 1 went
here, as far as scaling goes here, Ezreal keeping up very well in CS again with this early game power of Lucian, just not letting Braum get anything on him, staying very far back, playing very passive, and just trying to scale up into this late game, playing Ezreal beautifully at this point.
Me being an Ezreal main, what he's doing is you had to play safe until you get maybe one item, because normally I play him in the mid lane and he feels safe because he has his essence flux, he has his Q damage, he has his W, and it's just a very safe champion to play. Playing against most champions, and being behind all those minions, that Braum can't really land an auto attack unless he wants to take a face full of minions.
And then not even be able to run away with this Trundle too. The Trundle can just wall him in there and make him take more and more minion damage.
Yes. So I think it was
a
good pickup.
Yeah, Trundle also doing a very good job with his passive here, being able to heal up and just tanking the minions so they don't ever reach the turret. And Ezreal just practically getting free farm right in front of his turret. Looks like blue buff is gonna go over to Victor here in the mid lane. Gonna get a little bit of an early... Yep, gonna be a little bit of an early start on the blue buff for Victor. He will get to the lane and might be able to shove it before Brand gets his blue buff, if they even decide to give it to him.
The description, the whole difference in minion farm in the mid lane. He's up. Brand is up by 20.
It does look like this Victor did take a Hex Core upgrade. I'm assuming he probably took his E, so he will catch up a little bit easier here fairly shortly. Vital stacks here on this Gangplank, taking a lot of damage. Might die here to this Fiora, almost getting soloed out.
Saber landing on the in the Victor, another one. Sending him home paperwork to do. Not much. A lot of damage
Gangplank
from that
trading back
barrel.
with Fiora. Yeah, I was talking about that repost being a very big factor in those fights, just not reposting the barrel and taking a huge chunk, losing all of that early pressure that she had in the previous engagement up there. Forced to back off of that as well. I mean, 20 CS up still nonetheless, but that was a very bad trade. She could have stayed up there for a while longer and probably finished an item. You have Gragas here trying to sneak into the bottom bush. Looks like they did get a small little stun here. Tries to go in for the engagement and just knocks him out. Oh, that cockiness. Got that little summoner icon flash there on the bottom side by Lucian.
Just asserting his dominance, come on now. Don't you do that all the time?
Would you believe me if I told you that I don't have any champions at level 5, but I have about 65 champions at level 4?
No.
That's the truth, man. It's really what it is on my account. I have about
Nice.
60, I think it's like 60 or 65 champions at level 4. Have not yet gotten any of them at level 5. It's because I like to play every role. And I like a variety of champions. I mean, I do have a couple of favorites, but...
Yep. I have, I think, 6 at level 5.
Oh, this Mundo getting caught out here. Forced the flash, forced the ultimate. The ulti coming in here, the Ezreal ulti coming down. 3 flashes and he still lives with a sliver of HP. Looks like Gragas might be chasing him over the wall and still might pick this up though. Fiora
How many times do you have to hear it? Mundo goes where he pleases. You're gonna trade her life though.
And Mundo gonna be picked up here as well, fairly easily. He could have taken that. I guess he just didn't want to be greedy. No, they're setting up for the dive now. Looks like he is gonna take a shot. Maybe they're gonna give it to somebody else. Yeah, they do give it to the mid laner there, and it's gonna get out fairly healthy. Brand roaming up, not really
And a
able to
flash
do much
burn.
here.
Can we get an
He
auto
might
attack?
pick this Gragas up at the far side, but looks like Gragas is just going for a suicide or a back here, right here out of sight. And I don't think Fiora's going to be up in time to get him.
Nope.
He's just occupying Brand's time so he can't get to that Gragas. That's very good placement and play by the Gragas there. Also the flash used there as well by the Brand to try and catch that out, not getting anything out of it. Lucian taking a lot of free damage, but lane Israel still fairly healthy. And you have this Trundle who can just take as much damage as he wants, set up his ice field and just stand in it and get free regen.
Well, that and every time something dies around him, he gains health back.
Yep.
Ezreal's doing a good job keeping up in farm. Only down, what was that?
9 CS
20
at
gold?
this point.
20, yeah, not about 9. I can do math, people.
Asserting his
But
dominance
anyway.
again.
But anyway, it's more so.
Ezreal whiffing
Just
the ulti there.
I mean, come on now. Ezreal ultimate, whiffing it. Yeah, you can do that, but it'll be a backup if you keep landing Qs.
You know, looking over at this top side, you have this Fiora 30 CS up over this Gangplank. Gangplank not being able to keep up in farm, still being able to chunk her out, but look, she's even roaming in the jungle, just being up this much CS, trying to help out this Mundo with the clear a little bit, maybe get some vision, some defensive vision down so she knows she's safe. Looks like they're going to go in for a roam with the Mundo here from the side to try and get a kill. He's going to spot them. I don't think he's going to have a chance to get out here, though. The Vital is going to be popped. Mundo's just going to go in and get the slow. She's trying to deny the assist at least, but he's going to get hit anyway, and that's just going to go right over to Fiora and make her even stronger. Blue
Your
side
Fed
does
is not
respawn.
nice.
Blue side does respond here with a dragon attempt, which turns into a skirmish here, and it's a ult blown by Brand, not picking anybody up.
And a turret going down in the top lane.
Turret going top side. That dragon attempt is stopped. Brand paying, not paying with his life. Victor paying with his life there, getting a little bit too cocky. The ulti coming in from Ezreal, missing
Just
the Brand
barely.
here.
Ezreal has his tier stacking up, has his Sheen going to be transforming that into an Iceborne Gauntlet. It looks like they're going to be, after the Scuttle, probably doing a Rift Herald.
It looks like they're going to be taking Rift Herald, hopefully giving that over to Fiora. I mean, I know junglers need the love, get a little bit easier of a clear, but this Fiora is really dominating right now, and if she gets this buff, it's just going to make this tower a lot easier to take topside and make more and more pressure, more and more problems for this blue side. They are down about 4k gold right now. Not 3k gold, sorry. Mundo awfully low in his jungle, but Mundo goes where he pleases, clears the buff as he sees fit. So, be alright up there. Ward getting
And plus
taken topside.
Really needs to. He has his ultimate in order to do that. This is one of power spikes by the Ezreal. When he gets his Iceborne Gauntlet, he can actually more so kite easier because he has that slowing field. And it's
Kind of try and bully this Lucian out of lane here now.
one of my favorite things to do with Ezreal is just to actually I go on Lord's Decree on him, and me being an AD mid laner, I'm going to just keep auto attacking you, and if you're going to let me, I'm going to keep doing damage to you.
Ezreal missing that final Q, losing out a little bit on that trade. Getting hit by the Q there as well, taking even more damage, going in on the Trundle. The ulti's popped. Damage equal, no ulti for Ezreal now. Fiora roaming middle here. Not really gonna get much done, but just with the ability with that tower down, just to show presence there and say, hey, I'm here, you know, you might want to back off of my mid laner. Causing some serious issues. Re-engage bot side by this Ezreal. Lucian
Keep landing
getting
those
awfully
Qs.
low.
Finding those Qs.
Also, you have this sneak in here by Gragas, who wasn't even picked up. They don't know he's there, and Mundo's trying to come in from the side. Wasting a lot of time on this outside. It looks like Victor's trying to collapse as well.
Right now, the blue team's bot side is actually just pushed up a little too much for the Gragas to do much.
Yeah, and
It
now
looks like there's gonna be a party down here.
With this free push he has against this underfarmed Gangplank is just ripping through, you know, and just doing what she pleases topside. Giving Gangplank a hard time, starting to counter jungle, topside jungle as well. Even with that pink ward vision that they have over there, not much that Gangplank can do. Can't even answer. Probably gonna see that pink ward on the way out. Nope, didn't even see it. Gangplank going back once again after shoving the wave. Fiora's just going to shove it back up. Gangplank might miss a wave here. Looks like the ulti and flash pop by Gragas does get hit by the Brand here. Brand is going to go down
teleport.
to this Fiora. I mean, not Brand,
In
sorry,
the Gragas.
Who does
But
end
actually
up
goes
going
over to the Brand.
mid laner. Engagements on multiple fronts here. You have red side pressuring bottom now as well.
What did I say? Ezreal's just so safe of a champion.
Looks like with all of that damage that they got to put down, they are going to take a free dragon here. They do need to clear that ward, however.
It may not be free because Ezreal can do some damage. Ew.
Yeah, Braum just defending it right now with that shield. Not going to be able to get anything in over the wall.
Yeah. Are they going to be looking for a fight, though? That's the Fox by...
They're clearing up a ward here. Gragas being denied his own jungle by this uncontrollable Fiora. Fiora sees Gragas and is still going in on this gangplank. Doesn't even care that Gragas is around. Gragas is somewhat even ignoring that this is going on. Trying to come in now. Fiora does take a
So
big
much
chunk.
damage.
She is gonna die here. Has to flash out. Reposts out. The ulti is popped. Looks like she's gonna die here from the gangplank. Has to flash to get the last auto attack. How unfortunate.
I don't think he needed to flash. I think he could have gotten it with the parlay.
Maybe.
I mean, you can never be so sure sometimes. I do that on occasions, like, oh,
Yeah, sometimes.
I don't know, my guy's
maybe
gonna kill you.
He was thinking if I hit my Q, she's just gonna repost my Q, so I might as well just flash and get the auto attack and finish it off.
Nine that barrel. They have two barrel champions on side of kicked but not beaten.
Team Barrel. Looks like mid lane does get picked up by Victor here with that roam from the brand. A little bit of punishment there. Not too much though. Ezreal
After
20
all that-
CS now. Down. Getting poked out a little bit by this Lucian. Has no mana left. Has to go back. Probably going to lose the spot side turret.
Stacking his tier nicely. Land more of those Qs on the minions, honestly. And if you can get farmed as Ezreal, he'll be pretty nice.
Not necessarily sure this tower is going to go down. Going to get about a fourth of it taken down, plus the entire minion wave if Trundle decides not to take it, but he does. Ezreal going in with the arcane shift, missing the Q follow-up.
And we see Fiora in the top side, blue side jungle.
Still, all game she's been up there, pushing the wave, roaming to the jungle, denying these creeps from Gragas, and just completely having full reign over this topside jungle. Victor does steal the scuttle, however.
That's a nice little piece of vision right there.
Worth more than the Nexus.
Yeah.
Ezreal getting some free Qs here on this Mundo. Not really going to be that much of a big deal here. Empowering his teammates there with his W, trying to get some more auto attacks. Taking a few turret shots here for nothing. And Mundo just ulting and saying, hey, no, you're not taking my tower.
We just see Victor roaming down, but for what?
Yeah, Brand is answering as well. He's also there. It looks like they're trying to siege up for this tower, but I'm not sure to what avail. This Fiora just destroying, reposing the barrel shot and just destroying this gangplank. Gragas going down here, chasing down with this Mundo, getting slowed up a little bit here. Lucian going a little bit too hard there. Paying for his life. That turned the whole team fight around.
And they look like they were fine.
Although Fiora, topside split pushing, being that split push threat she is, gonna get this turret for nothing.
I mean, that's what Fiora does. She gets ahead in lane and she just pushes.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
It's looking really grim for Broken but not beaten here. It's down a turret, down 4,000 gold, just out of farm. It's being outclassed. Yeah,
Man.
30 farm in the mid lane, 30 farm in the top lane.
Only 22. So, as this game is shaping up, it's like, what do you think Kicked but not beaten needs to do in order to actually get ahead. Like they
Keep
got ahead
Ezreal
last game.
safe. Keep this Ezreal safe. Keep the peel on. Get those Gragas barrels out and the Gangplank barrels out, denying any chance of engagement and just having Ezreal get free and free damage. Victor dying here in a solo kill, but going down from the Gragas here. Nice placement for the ulti there of the Gangplank as well, just completely destroying any chance of a chase. Gragas might pay for his life here though. Ezreal coming
And
in
Lucian
for the
doing
cleanup
so much
though.
damage.
Unfortunately, the Lucian pickup does go to the support.
Ezreal would have had that one. It's auto attack range.
Barrel's doing a lot of damage here, a lot of poke coming out.
Barrels and the slows, just so much slow.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what they need to do here. Ezreal getting
Barely
a little
missing
cocky
that.
there, trying to finish it off with the ultimate, missing out on a kill for it.
Well, the Braum, he actually jumped to one of the minions on the side to get out of that.
I didn't quite catch that.
I watched when Ezreal's ult.
Fiora just doing work here. Might not be able to fight this Ezreal. May be able to repulse one of the damage. Alright, she's getting collapsed upon. Has to flash the wall. Might still get a kill. She might just
He's probably
need
going
to
to end up
accept
being
her.
caught out.
She gets
Not.
out.
He has the.
Gragas getting caught out for the chase.
That Fiora was master at baiting everybody in just so they could get that pick on the Gragas. And now they're going to get a dragon on top of that.
I'm not gonna make the sexual innuendo that everybody wanted there. Fiora.
I phrased it in a way that it was not going to sound like that.
Have to keep it PG rated in the stream, man. I'm not gonna try and pull
Hey.
a freak and be punny here. Double ulti coming to clear the wave, chipping off a lot of Brand's health here. Also,
Yeah, Mundo's just
Mundo
taking up that
taking
tower.
a lot of damage as well. Looks like that E doing a lot of damage to the backline. They won't be able to siege up after that. Looks like all efforts are thwarted for the time being. Lucian having to back off with less than 100 HP. Got Ezreal free farming and stacking his tier bot side. Manamura finally completed. 206 CS, now leading in CS 9 over this Lucian for that roam.
Huh, he still doesn't have bits of lucidity.
It looks like he rushed that last whisper to try and deal with this Mundo.
Makes sense.
Blue buff going over to Brand on the red side. I might say that Mortal Reminder may have been better. I mean, well, you have Brand now starting to stack a little bit of armor. It looks like he's trying to build Zhonya's Hourglass possibly. So maybe that last whisper was a better pickup, but I think he might go here with the Mortal Reminder. To stop that healing from the Mundo, because he's just going to be able to soak up so much damage, and they're not ever going to be able to get the backline here. He's already got his Warmongs finished. It looks like he's starting to build up that Serpissage, and he's got his Boots of Swiftness up, starting to really scale to that late game monster that we all know Mundo to be.
Mundo just doesn't care. He's like, oh, hi everybody. I'm going to
Here
go where I
goes Mundo
please.
doing Mundo things, making Ezreal arcane ship over the wall.
Mundoing, Mundo.
Siege continues mid lane, not really getting much done. Ezreal continues to free farm, now 14 CS up. They are giving the mid lane farm to Lucian, which is affecting the lead that Brand once had on the Victor, as Victor is taking this mid lane farm and slowly catching back up. Broken but not beaten, doing what they can to stay in this game and close this gold gap, which was at 3,000, slowly whittling down. It's down to 2,000 now, starting to close these CS gaps and maybe looking to try and do something soon. You have this Gangplank finally catching up, only 14 CS from the original 30 CS deficit from this Fiora. All that roaming, Gangplank just relentlessly farming and starting to scale up. Gonna be a terror to the backline here of iRage. A bit of a stalemate here, pushing, trying to go a little bit of both ways. Disconnected.
We do
I
have
assume
somebody
the pause.
disconnected. Yep, there it is. Take a moment and talk about like how kicked but not beaten has actually brought back this goal deficit a little bit. Like,
Alright, so they've had this Gangplank top lane, Fiora roaming relentlessly, not doing much, getting caught out and baiting a fight that killed that Gragas, but being bottom, in that bush, 3-4 minutes, dancing mid lane, dancing bottom, allowing Gangplank to catch up and farm. He really didn't have to do much, just popping his ulties mid lane, getting a couple of assists doing that, and just, working his way back up in the farm. Also, the Lucian trying to put up this siege middle lane, losing the CS lead that he had because this Victor just has unlimited wave clear, and it's just not going very well right now for iRage. They're trying to put up these sieges, but just don't have the power to do it. Broken but not beaten, just with the superior wave clear composition at the current moment. It's the barrels from Gangplank and the E from Victor just able to endlessly clear these waves and keep this game at a stalemate until they scale up into the late game and hopefully start a team fight and try taking these towers and objectives.
much. I mean, it's just they have so much disengage and they have so much wave clear with the Victor, the Ezreal. With that Iceborne Gauntlet, it actually does a little bit of AoE damage. So he can actually assist with the wave clear, and with his ultimate being on a fairly low cooldown because of his passive. Like, I think they can actually take this game if they just continue to do what they've been doing, like falling back
Yeah, they
slowly.
just need this slow, methodical gameplay that they're doing, trying to get this late game Ezreal scaling up. Trying to get this Gangplank able to deal with the split push Fiora. They do have the 2 towers gone topside, but it really hasn't done them much. Like, Fiora's done nothing but roamed and gotten nothing out of it. As why this Gangplank is just continuing to farm, has his Trinity Force now and his Infinity Edge with the cooldown boots, and just able to unlimitedly wave clear, catch up in the game, try and be a factor late game. As we know, Fiora is already done. She's gotten a couple solo kills on him, but not really able to do much other than that. iRage just getting picked apart, honestly, by this wave clear composition that's come out so far, not being able to siege up, take any of the turrets, make anything happen. I mean, they do have 2 dragons. I don't think that Broken but not beaten will be able to contest anytime shortly. Ezreal doesn't have his cooldown boots yet. I mean, he does have the upfront damage, the 2 core items that he needs with that Maramuna and with the Iceborne Gauntlet, but it's not going to be a really extended team fight. He won't really have a chance to poke. He might get some poke on the back line, but if Brand steps in and catches anybody and pops his ulti with Fiora there, it's just not a fight you want to take.
It looks like the Fury's going to be more so split pushing, try to split up that team, try to get that Gangplank away. That Gangplank has his ultimate that he can contribute to that fight, even being on the other side of the map.
Yeah, and also his teleport is up while Fiora's is still on cooldown, so she's going to have to be with the team right now as to where Gangplank can just teleport into the fights as needed and just continue this relentless pushing and farming that he's been doing for the past, 11 minutes of the game or so.
But honestly, I think that the Fiora's probably going to be one that they have to watch out for. If she is pushing and her teleport comes back online, and the fight's still going on, she'll teleport and probably end up going in on that Ezreal and going in on that Victor, just trying to do as much damage as she can, especially if she kills them with her ulti on them. That's going to be a lot.
Even if she goes down, they still have the reliable damage from Lucian, popping the ulti, getting the double proc auto attacks with all of his abilities, just able to, like, chip away at the front line while Fiora is diving the back line, and the back line will be too low to respond and try and kill the Lucian off. So Lucian should get some free kills on the front line if executed properly, and maybe even able to clean up a complete team fight. They just have to watch out. iRage needs to start grouping for objectives successfully and not having this stall out where they keep getting stopped by taking the turret from this unbelievable wave clear that Broken But Not Beaten has put up. You know, start fighting around the
Kicked but
dragon.
not beaten.
Kicked but
Kicked but
not
not
beaten.
beaten.
Sorry, I keep saying that. I don't know why. But they need to start grouping up more around this dragon, or even trying to bait this Baron out, or you know, having somebody else go with Fiora temporarily to get the gangplank to either recall or die, and then just have her do what she did topside, what she's doing bottom side now. Honestly, she split off from the gangplank, letting him probably answer that topside turret, but she'll probably end up getting at least a bot side and maybe a second, you know, the inner bot turret here. It looks like they are trying to, you know, group up for a siege mid and give her the potential to do the split push, but Gangplank split pushing as well. It's just going to be pretty much a stalemate. Although Fiora does have the lead with the 2 turrets, it can just be responded with the teleport from Gangplank right now to stop the push, or the ulti from the wave clear of Gangplank. So it's a bit of a stalemate at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah. So that that double burn coming from the Brand with the Logic Torment and his passive, and then that Logic burn just going to keep on going and ticking because of that rallies.
Yeah, you
That's
have a
actually going to do
lot
a
of
lot of damage.
Yeah, you have a lot of potential here from iRage. Like you have this, you know, this Fiora who can go into the back and do some serious work while Brand is popping his ulti, having it bounce, hitting everybody in the front, in the back. Lucian, you know, trying to get to the back line doesn't even necessarily need to, because you have this really, really big Fiora right now, just able to solo anybody in the game and just whittle down what little tanks, you know, kicked but not beaten has. They have this Gragas who's not really super tanky at this point. He's only got his his chain vest and a giant's belt up with this Aegis of the Legion, which really isn't much solo focused tanky stats right now. This Lucian with the crit chance that he has with this Essence Reaver and the static Shiv will just be able to slowly whittle him down, and maybe if Kick But Not Beaten gets a good engagement from Gragas, they might be able to do something about this, but I'm not sure how much they can do with Fiora just being able to get to the back line.
So as we see on our screen, we see iRage Mystic being called out a little bit. How do you think they're going to recover from that? What do you think they're
Well,
going to
what
do?
I think is going to happen, because it was a disconnect, I think they technically, by the rules of the OLS, have to let him walk out alive. He was trying to go with his team, and he stood still for about 5 or 6 seconds before this disconnect. So I think they actually have to let him walk out of here. If they don't, however, it does give them the siege opportunity with this Ezreal. They will no longer have the shield to block the poke coming from Ezreal, and might be able to siege up on this turret and take it. As far as this mid lane matchup is going, though, Victor being shown who's the boss against, like, this Brand really doing a lot of work. You know, it's 30 CS differential, 2 kill differential, 2 of them solo kills mid lane by this Brand, really doing what he can to snowball himself and, you know, show dominance in this lane as well.
Well, that's the thing with Brand. Like his W, you can put it underneath a whole pool of minions, and then next thing you know, they're all eviscerated and they're all dead. So he has really great wave clear. So does Victor. I mean,
The
it's just
defining
more so.
the defining factor in Brand's wave clear and Victor's wave clear. Victor has line wave clear, so the minions can be walking down the lane, and he can just toss an E and clear the wave, as to where Brand kind of has to bunch them up. So Brand should have a slight disadvantage as far as farming goes, because he has to prepare the wave, as to where Victor can just kind of shove it. But he's, like I said, Brand is doing a very, very good job of, you know, keeping the wave bunched up, clearing it, getting a lot of harassment down as his Victor. I've seen 2 misplays where Victor is try to like flash out of the way of a stun of Brand, and just like not been able to get away from the sheer damage that Brand is outputting, especially with this Rylai's Crystal Scepter slow, not really being able to answer after burning his flash, and just taking too much upfront burst damage from this Brand. It's a really extended pause we're having. Must be a serious issue.
Definitely. I wonder what happened.
You can look
Like,
at the CS difference in the jungle as well too. You have, this Mundo scaling up very nice. What is it? A 40 CS difference? 43 CS difference? No, sorry. Yeah, no.
I mean, as we take
Oh.
a look at, if we can take a look at the gold differential, I mean, it's just like 10k.
You have the 1K differential on your brand here, and then oh, sorry, I need to grab a drink. You can continue. I'll be right back. Sorry about this, guys.
I mean, the brand has 10,000 gold, like overall, compared to the 9k of the Victor. As I take a look at the graphs, the only person that's ahead in gold on Kick But Not Beaten, it looks like the only person that's not ahead, or the only person that is ahead, is their Trundle. Their Trundle has 7,000 compared to the Brahms 6,000. While everybody else on iRage has more gold per person, more than the actual Kick But Not Beaten team. So it's not all just centered on one person that's combining all this gold differential. It's the actual whole team that's doing so much. We do see the Braum going down though, after the unpause.
Alright, sorry about that. I had to grab a drink here.
Apparently because they paused in the middle of the kill, they have to give the kill over to Kick But Not Beaten. Which, as I was saying before, the only person that is not ahead in gold on side of iRage is that Braum. The Braum is the only person on their team that is down in gold.
That's due to that double kill still that Trundle got. He stole a kill from Ezreal, and he stole another kill from the Victor. That would have put Ezreal ahead of the Lucian at this point as far as gold. And we have this gangplank up top, just split pushing away. He took that turret, and the rest of his team is just keeping iRage here mid lane and allowing him to split push. Now he's gonna rotate bot side because Fiora showed up and try and get this inner probably on bot side. No, he fakes the recall, sitting in the bush. Tosses an ult. I don't see where it is though. Not quite sure where he placed his ultimate.
And after that little skirmish in the mid lane, everybody's just backing off, going back to base, healing, farming up their jungles.
It looks like Fiora is doing her best to match up where this gangplank is going. But they're sending her bot side now. Now he's going back top side. So she's probably going to be trying to take this outer and this inner bottom side while he's trying to push for this top side. Ezreal tossing that to the wave a little bit. Unfortunately, Fiora is going to get to that bot side. And it looks like rest of red is trying to collapse and force that they're going to be taking these two turrets, whether Kick But Not Beaten likes it or not. But Kick But Not Beaten responding, sending everybody to defend. Now Gangplank here with
It looks like he's living in the top lane.
Yeah. Gangplank here with the vision on Fiora, and now with the vision of Braum and Mundo should know that he's safe enough to just take this top wave with no response. They won't be able to do anything about it. So now he's evened up the split push that Fiora had once gained on the side of iRage. They're
It looks
probably
like we're
going to
be having a dance around the dragon. right
Right,
now,
and this
as
is
it just
exactly what
spawns.
iRage wants. iRage wants these objectives. Although they are giving up topside for it, this is something they can easily take and try and stack up these 5 dragons. There's not really much that Kick But Not Beaten can do here about this. Fiora coming in with a teleport. This this Greg is definitely gonna die here.
And then Gragas going down. We see the Gangplank teleport in, but coming in a little too late. He should have teleported as soon as they call for the teleport from the Fiora herself.
Yeah, and this
There's
Mundo
now a
just
4v5 in
being
the middle lane.
a frontline menace. And this,
So many people getting stunned up by that. Mundo just not giving any cares.
Mundo going where he pleases, making it even better for the side of iRage here. Like I was saying prior to the pause here, this is all they need to do. They just need to fight around these objectives like Dragon and force a team fight, and right after the team fight, siege up these towers, because this wave clear is just way too strong. Unfortunately, they didn't pick off the Victor or the Ezreal, so it's going to be a little bit difficult here, but they do have this third Dragon stacking, making their way up to 5. So they do have 2 win conditions right now. They can try and continue to force these team fights and take these advantages that they're taking, or they can try and stack this up to a 5th dragon, or maybe even try and go for a Baron here shortly. They are very dominantly winning these team fights at the current moment.
And that's what their team camp's like all about. It's like get them all clumped up and have that, and just AoE them down, along with Lucian getting multiple piercing lights and getting his passive off, and also culling all the enemies down. So
Yeah, they're executing this comp very well.
you have a little less than a 1k gold lead on the side of iRage.
Now, to come back into this game, Kicked But Not Beaten needs to avoid these skirmishes that iRage is trying to make them go into, and try and just siege up like they have been. They have superior wave clear, and they could just have unlimited siege potential here to just...
You see Braum being
and
called out.
picks too. Yeah, this Braum is definitely going to be going down. Braum gets out with his life.
Maybe. As he gets...
Braum gets ulted by the Gangplank in the back wave. Breakfast is going to be picked up here. Looks like it's a 1-for-1 trade overall. Losing the support for... No, sorry, a 1-for-2 trade here. Losing the support and the support and the jungler here.
There's so much wave clear by the Victor. Just being able to just hold that back.
Yeah, just not caring that the enemy team is sieging. Just able to completely deny any hopes of them pushing, especially with this Gangplank up as well, just tossing these barrels repeatedly, making sure that nobody can even get to this tower, letting his team heal up and be healthy. And the turret finally gonna go down here, but after a lot of resources and effort burned.
I feel like the Ezreal's not doing a lot of damage right now.
Yeah, Ezreal really isn't being that much of a factor in these fights. He's been forced to kind of run away because this Fiora can just kind of hard dive him and, you know, make him shift out. And while he's shifting out, the rest of his team is just getting punished by this Brand and this frontline Mundo, who just is landing all of these Qs and not really caring about what Kick But Beat respond with.
As Fiora's going to go down to the Ezreal. And he's staying true to that blue bill with getting the mortal reminder. What's he going to get next? But we see that the Trundle has actually picked up an Esper Gauntlet himself.
Yeah, trying to get that slow down for his Ezreal and the rest of his team to try and follow things up, I think. And it gives a little bit of cooldown reduction and a little bit of armor here.
Which the Trundle can use his pillars just to go and pillar people down. So much.
That ultimate combo with the Victor stun just blowing up the front line of iRage here, really getting punished for being clumped up. Damage threat's still alive here. Wave clear still available here. Lucian doing a lot of work. Gragas not really able to do much. Breakfast getting hit. Probably gonna die. Oh, gets out with his life. Fiora responding to this top wave, not even being able to be in the fight.
You're just not having that opportunity to teleport in. It just happened so fast.
Unfortunately, we come to this point again. 30 seconds on Dragon. iRage able to group up for this, just continuously taking this advantage, and this is going to be an early 5th Dragon. Lucian going down here from this Gangplank, possibly.
But Yanking going to pay with his life.
I would
Only
take
be
that
4th
trade.
Dragon anyway.
I would take that trade realistically. 4th Dragon is probably still going to go to the side of iRage here without their 80 carry. Not really much kicked but not beaten can do right now about that. Mundo coming in, trying to get on this Ezreal. Braum coming in with slows. Mundo flashing forward to get onto this Ezreal, not going to get anything out of it. Brand throwing his ulti down, hitting Ezreal.
So much damage by that Brand.
Lower. Victor does end up going down. Mundo only taking half of his HP bar.
Gonna heal back up. Because Mundo does Mundo things.
That Spirit Visage Warmong's paying off huge.
Oh my gosh. 100 some
Full
health
HP.
per second.
Yeah, 102 health.
Oh, he steals the dragon!
The hero steal over the wall, delaying this 5th dragon. Play of the night. LCS, hashtag LCS big plays.
Definitely, that was in and out quick. That was like, I got this. He just body slammed in and flashed out.
With the loss of that dragon, iRage really needs to start working on vision control for the Baron and trying to either bait a fight or just take this Baron out right after making a pick.
And that damage reduction from turrets is actually going to be really huge on the side of iRage. Because they've actually been controlling the tempo of this game through picks and just through nice team fighting.
Clearing up this vision, making sure that the Baron isn't started yet. Trying to do
As he
what
starts
they
the Baron
can.
himself.
Mundo just into 3 people, not caring. Getting a slow onto the support. Good placement on the E there from Victor.
Oh, Mundo. Just
Fiora
doing Mundo
coming
things.
in, riposting. Getting a lot of damage. No, not really much damage at all here. Taking a lot of damage herself.
That ultimate from the Brand bouncing between player to player, doing so much damage. That was most certainly going to be a Baron for iRage.
Yeah, Fiora just completely being a distraction there, and Ezreal not being a factor in the fight at all. Brand just taking control,
can they not
taking
take
the
it?
reins. Honestly, I think Mundo could probably solo tank it.
I don't know, man. I mean, Mundo does go where you please.
Mundo backing off, everybody else backing. Looks like Kick But Not Beaten are trying to set up for a push mid to deny the attempt at the Baron here. Looks like their efforts have paid off for now. Trundle up in 6, their jungler up in 17. If iRage wants to take this Baron, they really need to get a kill on this Victor. They really need to get a kill on this Gangplank before the fight starts, because that's their main damage components right now. You know, Gangplank getting a barrel in the backline could just decimate Lucian's HP bar, and that's one of the major damage threats right now. Other than this Brand has been playing very far up and very, very ballsy in these last couple of team fights and could be easily collapsed upon.
But it has paid off. He has done some nice damage
risky
with his W, Q, E, and his ultimate. All 4 of his spells.
Yeah, that last fight, I think he got perfectly placed into. That Fiora soaked up so much damage, and then riposting the last little bit that would have killed her, and ended up surviving while this Brand just went in and decimated the rest of the team. It was unrealistic, the coordination that was set up there from that fight.
and Gangplank down in the bottom side. 1,000
Vision
damage
denial
crits.
here from both sides. Mundo's ultimate popped. Brand ulti still available. You have teleport on the side of Fiora. Teleport not up right now for Gangplank. He really needs to be with his team. Fiora walking over to her team, not even using the teleport. Not really any place to teleport to try and find an engagement regardless, but just able to casually walk up into this team and try and get more vision denial on the side of Baron. It looks like they're coming up trying to clear out any wards that might be there. Fiora going top side here, trying to clear this wave and get it shoving in their favor, waiting for the response of Gangplank, doing what they can to set up for this fight.
Dark's Gauge finished. Got the Lord
Yeah,
Dominate's
kick but not beaten.
regards.
This is their only chance if they want to do anything while the Fiora is not there. I mean, they can force the teleport and then just disengage and peel. It's really what they need to do. They need to try and get that teleport from Fiora.
I mean, she's also very close with her team, so it's more so she can just run down if they really need it.
Mundo just going in, not caring, taking free damage, able to heal it up within a matter of seconds anyway. Ezreal's damage really not being enough. I think that Mortal Reminder would have put a stop to the nonsense that is Mundo right now.
He does have the Mortal
Really
Reminder.
wouldn't have helped against this Fiora, who's a serious threat to him anyway, but if Fiora gets onto him, he's dead either way.
We see the whole team of iRage just rotating on bottom.
Yeah, and there's
Going to be setting up for this.
literally no response to the Mundo heal on the side of Kick But Not Beaten. I don't see a Morello.
There is a mortal reminder on the side of Ezreal.
Oh, he picked it up?
He did.
Oh, sorry.
That-
I did not see that pickup.
He's staying true to the blue build.
True to the blue.
Yep. Back to blue.
27 seconds here on this dragon. They're trying to make a pick, so it's a little bit easier.
But are they going to trade this dragon for the Baron?
What Kicked But Not Beaten needs to do here is if they start seeing the enemy doing the dragon, they need to just rush down the mid lane and deny this dragon start. Like, even if they try and rush it down, they'll at least get a tower out of it. And then they'll be trading objectives, because them trying to stop this dragon is just going to result in a team fight that they're going to lose. And now they got nothing done here. You have this Gangplank split pushing, not with the team. Teleport just coming up. They do thwart the dragon attempt for a couple of seconds, but it looks like they're just going to take it. Meanwhile, mid tower could have been taken by now.
And he
this
steals it
dragon
again!
Second steal! Getting out alive, tossing so much damage. So much damage from this Victor right now. Gangplank free split pushing up top.
As 2 times in a row that he's been able to go in and actually steal that.
iRage
Baron,
must be getting
that dragon.
really frustrated right now. Jungler really needs to work on the smite timing. Not that it's not a 50-50 shot at this point in the game, but just need to coordinate a little bit better of doing a skill. Gangplank getting solo killed here most likely. Yeah, Gangplank definitely. Oh, Gangplank flashing while still going
Oh
down.
my god, that flashed over in the queue from the Fiora.
Mid tower is gonna get taken. Fiora is gonna pick up another kill here. No, it goes over to Lucian. Brand almost dying on the back end. Forces to heal.
They
And
can Baron
Mundo
from
just
this.
coming-
Mundo is just so tanky
Yeah,
right now.
Mundo just coming straight up the middle, not caring about what's going on. Getting hit with that Mortal Reminder, just being able to back up afterwards and heal up. See, there goes a little bit of a heal there. Now his Spirit Visage is gonna kick in. Now he's gonna ult in. I don't think he's gonna get much healing off of this. As long as Ezreal keeps the auto attacks on him, that ult not really gonna be that effective. Goes up to about half HP.
You see the Trundle going down.
Yeah, Trun will just literally two-shot by that Fiora. Or that Brand, sorry.
It's going to be the Baron that we're going to see.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the Baron call. Honestly, Fiora doesn't even need to go back here. They could have probably started the Baron, There's not really much that a kick but not being can do besides toss and a gangplank ulti and try and delay it. Looks like they are gonna back and just go shopping with the money that they just earned off of the last couple of fights, though. Game very close yet again. 400 gold difference. Sorry. Wow. No, I can't count. It's 3K. I thought
Gangplank has actually taken the gold lead ahead of the Fiora. If you take a look at him.
He's been working all game on getting this farm up. Now he's he's in the close to 500 range on farm here.
Reaches that 500, then he's getting.
He's on an average of 1 CS per minute right now. Sorry, 10 CS per minute. Wow. What am I? Oh my god, I'm tired. 10 CS a minute here for the gangplank. Mundo getting caught
nice
out
fight.
here. Probably going to end up living through it. Brand going in hard.
As he just Zonya's.
Decimating the Ezreal. Getting him completely
And
out
the
of
Victor,
fight.
the 2 damage sources are down. The 2 main carries. They
Yeah,
can
only
they can get.
Only tanks left here. This is probably going to be the end of the game.
And Fiora is split pushing bottom. That was a 4v5.
70-second death timers here. Fiora is going to get the added benefits of them.
Now, can he do what he's been doing to Dragon the past 2 times? Can he do it again? The Baron. He does! Oh my god! Even though that's not going to do much, but it denies them the
style points.
Oh my god.
They wasted about 30 seconds trying to get that Baron, but Fiora does end up picking the bot lane inhibitor, and Trundle does live with this Baron buff.
I still think that they might be able to end it off of this push.
Yeah,
because it's a 5v1 right now. Victor's up in 7 seconds.
I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Inhibitor down bottom, inhibitor down mid. He might just peel out of this and call it a day. Looks like that is the approach they're going to take
That's
here.
3 miss smites on the side of iRage.
Full build
that could
across
have
the board almost now.
Just about. The Victor has 1 more slot to get something.
He's got about 600 gold in his pocket, so he's really far off from doing anything with that gold right now, but he does have the perfect tech score upgrade, so you could say that that's where the money went for the last item that he should have.
Yeah, he gets his final upgrades. But the Trundle being the only person with that Baron buff, that's actually still huge, that they can get those Baron empowered minions.
Yeah, him being alive during that Baron fight was pretty good.
And he gets out.
Gets out with his life using that teleport. Although he is out the teleport now, and Fiora has hers up. Not that it really matters at this point. It looks like they're just going to be sieging up bot side and trying to end this game. One last
top
push.
Side.
Sorry, top side. Yeah, and Fiora does have this Guardian Angel now. I don't see this going.
And the
very
ZZ
well.
Rock portal.
Yeah, I don't
Gotta
see
have
this
that ZZ Rock portal.
Going head first into Ezreal, not caring about anybody's damage, taking a shot from Victor. Mundo throwing these briefcases at people, telling him it's time to get to work. I'm gonna end this game now.
Yep.
Gangplank trying to set up some of these barrels. They're just immediately getting destroyed, not doing anything to the backline. It's pretty much a stalemate here. Battle of the Wave Clear, and they have these Baron empowered minions thanks to this god tier Gragas smite for the past 3 objectives.
Denying him that 5th dragon and the Baron.
Yeah, it would have been dragon number 5 and Baron for them at this point. He's just making their life very difficult. Fiora on the side, getting caught out. Guardian has to flash the wall. Guardian Angel not pop. Brand tossing his ulti in, not really getting a priority target. He does get Victor a little bit low, but Victor's still alive? Nope, goes down to the red buff of Lucian there.
Red buff. Red buff OP. Rito, please nerf.
Mundo doing what he can to distract while the team takes this final turret.
Mundo's just
Mundo.
keeping his W on.
Yeah. Lucian able to get free damage on this turret for the most part, not really being punished. Also has a Guardian's Angel. Gangplank going down, or sorry, Trundle going down here to the Lucian. Gragas
Mundo's
possibly
back at
going down.
full health. And it looks like this is going to be game. iRage,
Yeah, it's just
GG.
game. Lucian doing what he needed to do, just cleaning up the backline and letting his team take the Nexus here in the final game of this best of 3.
Wow, that was a great game on both sides. Gragas stealing 3 objectives away from iRage. In the end, it was just not enough.
Yeah, Gragas knowing his place, knowing what he needed to do. He needed to prevent these objectives from being taken, but it's just a little bit too late, unfortunately, for Gragas to pick these up. Although he did deny the style points for the 5th Dragon and that Baron buff, and did put them up a nice little wave of defense there with the Baron buff of the Trundle for the final push, but just not enough.
Now, Victor actually edged out more damage than the actual Brand.
Yeah,
So,
Brand was more burst up front. I think Victor was landing more of the poke into the people that were trying to engage. Um, I think Brand's damage was a little bit more effective as it was placed and actually took carries out, as to where Victor only really got poke damage out, really didn't get very many kills or very many setups for the team. He did land a couple of good E's that caught a couple of people out, but they really couldn't capitalize on it. The team fight was just way too strong on the side of iRage.
and it was good games on both sides. And with all the damage dealt all together, the Gangplank doing so much damage with his barrels, like 1k crits, so much just AoE damage from the side of kick but not beating. But that the damage centered was not on enough. Like everybody, they had so much utility on iRage's side, and it's just
Yeah, look at the damage chart there. See how much damage was dealt to champions, and see how much damage was taken by Mundo, and how much damage he healed. And then you can see really the mitigation of Mundo in that game.
yeah. Mundo took a lot of that damage and just healed it all back up because he had Warmogs, he had the Spirit Visage, and he had his ultimate, all just doing so much, just soaking up 6,000 points of like so much damage done to him.
Yeah,
Still didn't die that many
86,000.
times.
86,000 damage taken by him, and 25 of it just completely mitigated by the heals. Just doing what he needed to do, and just telling the other team, no, you're not getting to my team. I'm gonna sit here and tank while my team sieges up against you and just fights you, and just really doing what he needed to do.
Compared to this, Mundo died one time that whole game. Yet he took over 86,000 points of damage and only died once that whole game. The person who took the most damage next to him was the Gragas, but he died a total of 9 times that game. So just the damage mitigation that the Moon was able to provide with his ultimate and the Spirit Visage and the Warmog all combined together, so great in that victory.
Yeah.
This did so much.
Yeah, Greg is playing the hero of that game altogether, trying to keep them in the game, but just not enough there towards the end. I do give him style points. I do want to see that in a highlight reel. 2 back-to-back Dragon Steals on top of a Baron Steal. Like, that goes to say something about mechanically skilled players, especially in these lower brackets, like the Gold OLS series. You don't even see that in the higher brackets. It's like very, very, very good knowledge of Smite Emerson. Pretty much winning it looked like he had more of a 50-50 shot. Like, doing it back to back to back, I wouldn't say it was a 50-50. I think in the back of his head, he was like, yeah, this is a 100% shot. I'm taking this.
Also, it's like, if you put in perspective, amount of deaths that each champion took. Victor died 5 times. Gangplank died 6 times. Gragas 9 times. Ezreal died 2. Bundle 5. While everybody else on the enemy team, they could not get to that brand. They got to the brand once to kill him, and that was all he died. And he provided the 3rd most damage in the whole game.
Yeah, and Brand was really frontlining a couple of those. Brand was like up. He flashed forward for 2 ultimates. You know, he got a stun on 2 carries. Just being in the front and still not dying. It was a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, it was just so much that they just had no way to get to that back line of Brand, because the Brand just provides so much AoE, provides just that sustained damage with that burn and constantly throwing out his spells. It's just so much.
Yeah, honestly, I really liked the composition that iRage picked up this time. They had the fairly safe farm lane bottom with the Lucian, who, like I said, didn't really ramp up late game, and it was kind of like a Mundo, I'm gonna be in front, Brand, do all this damage, and Lucian kind of clean up kind of thing going on. But that's all they really needed to do. They had this really tanky front line, like I said, this Mundo. I can't stress enough how important that was this game, as well as this Braum, who did a lot of work mitigating a lot of damage as well. And Fiora being the distraction that she needed to be, trying to get a lot of damage on the back line so Brand could finish people off with those ultimates, just working together flawlessly in those team fights and outclassing kicked but not beaten in all those skirmishes.
Yep.
All right, well, that is it for the night, for the broadcast for Olympus Gamers. Thank you for tuning in. iRage Frost against Kick But Not Beaten. iRage Frost taking the win for the night, OLS Gold Series. I am Brone. Have a great night. And this is my co-cast.
I am Volterra, and we will see you guys on another day. Much.